still awake back in the UK, Izzy, Nedum and Natalie.
We're here, Ali. We're still awake. Welcome back to Match Day Live. It is 26 minutes past 3 in the UK and the game has just finished. So, City drew 2-2 with Barcelona after 90 minutes and then a penalty shootout popped up and surprised us all. But hey, it was practice, I guess, for everybody on that penalty shootout side. So thank you so much for joining us on Match Day Live again. I'm still joined by Nedum and Izzy is here as well. We're seeing some shots there at the end. The players, I think they're going, I didn't know there was a penalty shootout, did you? No, I didn't know there was a penalty shootout either. That was my lip reading there.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah. Obviously, I think for Calvin Phillips and Rafinha, you're probably talking a bit about Leeds, but yeah, the penalty shootout was definitely definitely a thought. And it was only towards the end of the game do we think maybe there is going to be one. I don't know the wider context of why it was so significant, but I think overall, all those fans that chose to stay, you know, they were entertained. It was a good game, and they got a chance to see something which they don't see very often, which is a penalty shootout for sure.
Talking about the entertainment this evening, one of the highlights for me was clearly the weatherman. The weatherman, and oh my goodness, we're only joined by Shaun Wright-Phillips and Joleon Lescott. I thought they'd taken the night off. Hey, FG.
Yes, welcome back to the Camping World Stadium. Joleon and Shaun joining me. City lose out on penalties, but again, Joleon, some real lessons and great performances by some of the players.
Yeah, I think the first half of that game was as powerful, as positive as it's come this pre-season. Yeah, obviously the outcome of the game wasn't great, but yeah, the first half, I think it was after like 15 minutes, it felt like it was half an hour in. So yeah, great performance overall. Show characters, come from behind. So yeah, there's a lot of learning lessons and learning curves from the players.
Yeah, I mean it is pre-season, of course, but let's talk about Jack Grealish scoring a goal. So deserved. He spoke so much, Shaun, about how difficult last season was for him, and it's a good confidence booster for him going into the new season.
Yeah, it was. I think there were so many players on that pitch that played well at the time. I think Kovacic that got the ball to make it all happen from where he started from is an unbelievable run, and the composure to play him in, and Jack to see that he's already beat the defender, because I had a conversation with Joleon about it when we were sitting upstairs watching, and for me I felt like the defender didn't need to dive, but Joleon said Jack was already past him and he knew that. So the finish for me on his left foot was excellent. It was a great finish, but I think Nico Williams, especially in the first half, stood out massively. I think he, from the start of pre-season to where he is now in game performance, I think he was phenomenal today. Everything he did seemed like it was what he wanted to do, and it was going in the right directions, and it was working to see.
Yeah, Joleon, let's talk about that goal from Nico. A great goal from Nico O'Reilly, but the ball from Josko Vardiol was equally as good. Not bad for a defender.
Not bad at all, yeah, but we've seen Josko use that composure for himself and for the opposition, obviously, throughout last season, so it shouldn't come as a surprise in regards to his ability to pick that pass, make that pass. But yeah, like Shaun said, Nico's obviously learned from previous games. I think he approached this game with a mentality of, this is Barcelona. Regardless of who he was playing against, I think he realised it's Barcelona at the end of the day, and if he goes into every game with that mindset, then he'll come out on top, because again he showed glimpses, or a lot more glimpses than previous games, of what he's capable of.
Yeah, he's definitely impressed so far. What about Rico Lewis, Shaun? There's no real surprises with this young man. The last time we were in America, it was Houston, where he broke onto the scene. He had a really good pre-season. It might be the chance for one of the other younger players we've seen, but he just seems to be getting better and better, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's mature. It's like, I think if we go back to like the beginning of the game when Joleon was talking, and he said that Oscar Bob is now one of those senior players that the young kids look up to. Oscar Bob kind of looks up to Rico, and I thought that link up on that right-hand side today was phenomenal. He knew where he was going to go. If he came in, he went. If he stayed wide, he still went. And just that little passes and touches, they had a brilliant understanding. And you can see they've been working hard in training, listening to all the instructions they've been getting from the coaches, and they're putting it out on the pitch. And they caused a lot of problems for Barcelona today.
And finally, on to Oscar Bob. There was a cross that went into Erling Haaland where we think it was a goal, based on what we've seen online. It wasn't given in the stadium, but it was brilliant work from Oscar all throughout. Like Shaun said, that right-hand side, hit the link up between him and Rico. It's positive signs for the future.
Very positive. I think Oscar's been the standout performer. I think throughout the 3 games so far, I think he's made probably the most right decisions, regardless of the outcome. Obviously, it would have been great for it to be classed as a goal, but his decision making has been perfect, and that's all you can ask of someone so young. But of any player, if they get into the back positions, what is the outcome? It's a cross to the back stick. He's recognised that Erling's pulled off the defender, and he's done that. And yeah, as I said, it looked like to us it was a save, but again, you may know different.
3 down, 1 to go, gents. It's been an amazing tour so far, Shaun. What are you looking forward to going into the final game in Ohio against Chelsea?
More improvement from the young lads. I wouldn't say improvement, I think that may be the wrong word, but more progression, I would say, is a better word. I think each one of them, so far, every game has progressed in a certain way, which is positive. And of course, there was a little bit of worries when you watch the game today and you see Jack worry about his leg, and you see, obviously, Nico have a similar problem. So you will get a little bit worried. There's a lot of games in a short space of time. So hopefully they're all right. And if they're all right, I think we got to just take the positives out of this game. This was probably the bigger game. Full of fantastic players. They play football. If you saw the first 15 minutes, the way they got out some of our presses, and the boys adjusted to it and then took it to them. So I think there was a lot of positives in this game. And I'll just keep saying push forward.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear from 2 absolute legends. Joleon, what can we expect in terms of the drip in Ohio? Because it's been on point throughout the whole tour.
Well, we're going to taper it down. We're going home. So, you know what I mean? It's got to keep it calm. Keep it calm. But you'll be on point.
We'll keep the pressure on you for that, Jim, because it's been sensational. All right, let's head back to the studio. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you to everyone who's watched so late, especially where you are in Manchester. We know it's super late, and we hope it was worth it. But from us here, we're done at the minute with Florida, so we'll see you in Ohio. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. We'll see you in Ohio. Cannot wait to see Joleon's drip in Ohio. Does anyone know what the weather's like in Ohio, by the way? Is there any chance of thunderstorms, rainstorms?
There's another possible tornado place, I believe.
Brilliant.
But
Brilliant.
I'm sure the game will go ahead. They'll find a way.
The good news is that the last friendly of the tour is a 10:30 UK kickoff. That is Saturday night. So that's perfect. Perfect, that's all you need for your Saturday night. 10:30 kickoff UK time. That game, as with all the games, will be available on City Plus, and we will be here as always. So yes, Ohio, Chelsea on Saturday. Well, before we just start chatting about that, let's have a quick roundup of the game tonight. Izzy, what was your standout moments from the game?
Grealish's goal. Brilliant. I loved it. Loved everything about it. Kovacic, taking the ball out of the midfield, just taking it by the scruff of the neck, driving forward, looked sharp, looked powerful. And then Grealish, I think he needed that. I mean, not in a desperate way, but I think that for his confidence, he had the captain's armband on in the second half. I thought, he really stepped up to the plate. He put in a really good performance, and he'll definitely be stronger after tonight.
Yeah, great confidence for Jack, but incredible run by Kovacic for that goal.
Yeah, it really was. I think given the fact that it felt like he was under pressure on the edge of his own box, for him to sort of see the space and be able to drive into it. I think the way he does it, it's like the ball's so close to his foot until it's not, because he's now exploded past you. I think he's magnificent at that. But to talk about Jack again for that, he's making a good run without the ball. I think those sorts of things are key. Some players, they can go within themselves and always want to have the ball to feet, try and do something that way. But these yards without the ball just as hard as some of the ones with it. So I like the run. It's obviously a great pass, and I think for some of the critique that he's had over the last, say, couple of years, I love the fact that he went down the line and put it into the corner with his left foot. People have said, Jack, he comes inside too often, he's too negative. Well, you couldn't ask for anything more positive than what he's just done there. It's the right decision, and it's a fantastic finish to boot as well.
It's a lovely finish into the side net in there as well. I was wondering if he was going to be able to get the angle on before he hit it, but I mean, he definitely did. This will be an even better angle to see it. So it was quite tight, to have the defender coming in, to have the goalkeeper to be able to find the space to put it into that side netting. I thought it was a great finish, and like you say, Izzy, perfect for the confidence of Jack Grealish as well. And an incredible run, incredible assist there by Kovacic. We're seeing it from a really... oh, there we go. Nice, into the side. I thought... yeah, OK. No smile there from Jack, but he was doing his job. I want to highlight another moment from the second half as well, so that this young man really gets his flowers for this one. So Callum Doyle defending against the great Lewandowski. Let's have a little look back at this moment for him. So this is literally with minutes, maybe seconds of the game left. That could have been to make it Barcelona 3, City 2. And here comes Callum Doyle. No, Lewandowski. Are you having that?
Yeah, it's brilliant. To be fair, the tracking shuts off the angle nice and quick, gets his body in just at the right time. He's read it really well, and that's obviously the tackle that you could say, took the game to penalties and gave City the opportunity to win it on penalties, but unfortunately that wasn't the case tonight.
What did you make of that defending?
No, it was very good. I think the fact that he's able to cover the ground and also centre early enough to be able to have the opportunity to affect the game. And obviously Lewandowski is one of the best strikers in the world, and I'm sure for Callum, he's seen Lewandowski play and be as great as he has been. Another thing to not, I don't know if it makes me feel older or younger, but I played against Lewandowski in the under-21s like many moons ago, so this feels surreal to me, so I guess those youngsters can catch my sort of age group now then.
Love that. Thank you. So that did finish the game against Barcelona 2-2 after 90 minutes, but City lost that 4-1 on penalties. So we'll go into Saturday to our final pre-season game before the Community Shield, and we are taking on Chelsea. Of course, a team that we know very, very well from our time in the Premier League and the FA Cup and the League Cup and the Champions League and everything else that we've played them in over the years. So that's taking place Saturday night, 10:30 UK kickoff. Of course, we will be here Friday as well doing the pitchside live with the press conferences for you before the game on Saturday. So Chelsea having a similar pre-season to us, to be fair. They've had 2 games so far. One was quite a heavy defeat by Celtic. The second was a draw with Wrexham, obviously Hollywood Wrexham out in America. So Chelsea drew with them. They have another game on Thursday against Club America, who obviously we played 2 years ago in America, and then they have us on the Saturday night. And then they have a game next Wednesday against Real Madrid as well, and then a game against Inter. So they've got a packed pre-season there. So 2 games so far for Chelsea, no wins. 3 games for us, no wins. How important is it, or is it important in the slightest that we get a win in pre-season?
Possibly now, yeah. You could say the psychology, a little bit of that, but like Nedum alluded to earlier in his career.
Yeah.
Won all the pre-season games and didn't win a game for 3 months, you'd say.
I've said it once, I don't want to say it again.
Dress rehearsal, isn't it, for the start of the season? So there is going to be an element of, a bit of spice attached to the game, of course. Both teams will want to win, of course. And I think, Maresca's he's yet to have maybe got his style implemented at Chelsea, which is totally understandable. Early days still. I'm sure he will get that across at some point. But I think from Manchester City's perspective, I think it's important to get a good performance in, and a win would be magnificent as well.
And like Izzy says, Ned, in the way the fixtures have fallen, we will play at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge for our opening Premier League fixture, Sunday the 18th of August at 4:30 p.m. kickoff. So we'll play them, and then 2 weeks later we'll play them again. I can't imagine there'll be many similarities between the starting 11s for those 2 games, though.
No, I'd be very, very surprised of that. I think with all the players that are coming back from their respective tournaments, people come back from injury as well. So I don't think it would look the same. But I think to sort of piggyback on what Izzy was saying about, say, the 2 teams in pre-season, like, pre-season does matter. You do want to win games, but it doesn't guarantee anything in the same way losing doesn't. But I think the difference between, say, the City side and the Chelsea side is that Guardiola's been there long enough so you know what the season will look like. But with Chelsea, you don't know what Chelsea will look like because it's a new manager. But there's every chance they could be good, maybe they'll be great. But at some point, you kind of have to show it. So I think a win in pre-season means more to Chelsea than it would for City, which is why when you see some of the headlines currently, there are lots of question marks about Chelsea, but not really the same about City at this moment in time. So I'm sure it's going to be a good game, and it'll be a good test for Chelsea and for Maresca himself as well.
Absolutely. Very much looking forward to that game on Saturday night. Thank you both for this evening. We really appreciate you staying the whole night. Thank you so much, Izzy.
Thank you.
Best of luck with the new job.
Thank you. Can't wait.
Thank you so much, Nedum, as always. Very much hoping that we'll see you both lots throughout the next season as well coming up. Thank you. And thank you to Alistair Mann. Thank you to Shaun Goater for the commentary this evening. And thank you all for joining us on Matchday Live. A massive, huge audience for tonight's show. So we really appreciate you. Wherever you are in the world, whatever time you are watching this, thank you so much for being here with us. We will be back on Friday for Pitchside Live and the press conferences before our final pre-season game before the Community Shield on Saturday against Chelsea. So have a great week, Blues. If you're in the UK, go to bed. We'll see you on Friday.